right. Hello again, everybody. This is Lily Butler here, and we're doing an update on our Fianna McCool and the Hound of Ulster Kickstarter campaign. And for this update, I thought that we would share some of the behind-the-scenes artwork, some of the genesis of the Fianna McCool project, just to kind of give you a little bit more of an idea of what it's about, and show you some of the raw black and white artwork, some of the pencil drawings and stuff. But before we get into that, I would like to take this time to say thank you to everyone who has pledged to this Kickstarter. This Kickstarter means a lot to both Lily and I. It's our first project to work together on as a father-daughter team, and we really appreciate all of the pledges that we've gotten so far. It's been overwhelming, but we still have a way to go.
Well, we are halfway there, so I want to say thank you guys so much for that. I'm really excited.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to take this time. This will be our, I think, our first update on this, and we didn't just want to say, hey guys, pledge to us. We've already done that, so we wanted to kind of show a little bit of what we've done. So that said, I'm going to go into this and just talk to you real candidly about how we came about this. When we first talked about doing this Kickstarter, we didn't really have any goal in mind. Lily just said, Dad, can we work on a project together? And my mind started working on some ideas. At first I wanted to do like a space thing, a super spy thing. I'm like, what is the setting? I knew I wanted to do something that featured like animal type characters, similar to the Sonic the Hedgehog type style that I used for many years whenever I was drawing Sonic for Archie. And so I knew I was going to be somewhere in that wheelhouse as far as style goes. But as far as like the setting and the type of story, well, we settled on a fantasy type thing, but I didn't want to just do any type of fantasy. I wanted to do something that was different than a lot of the stuff that you see out there. And I settled on Celtic mythology because I've always been interested in that stuff, but I also know that you don't see a whole lot of that out there in the especially in the comic world. So I thought that would be a good route, to go in. And so anyway, I just started sketching. This is the first sketch right here that I did of Fianna McCool. I knew the name Fianna McCool is a what would the word be? Feminization, a gender swap, or whatever, a gender role swap of the Celtic mythology hero Finn McCool, who has been around for ages in Celtic mythology folklore. There's a lot of stories about him, and I mean he's brimming with story ideas. We just turned it into a girl. A lot of people have seen this and say, oh, that's Sally Acorn from Sonic the Hedgehog, and I just laugh and say, nah, this is Fianna McCool. But really, I mean, yeah, a lot of her look, especially in the face, is taken from Sally, but it's taken from the way that I used to draw Sally. She doesn't even look like that anymore. In fact, I don't even think the character even exists anymore as far as the Sonic universe is concerned, where they're at right now. So in my way of thinking, she's fair game. So if you want to say she's a copy of Sally Acorn, that's fine. I just call her Sally Acorn's Irish cousin. All right. So this was my first drawing of Sally. I gave her these two swords.
Fianna.
I'm sorry. Did I say Sally?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I've even got it on my mind. I say it so much. But anyway, Fianna has these two swords, and they're more than just normal blades, and that'll come out in the story a little bit later on. In fact, we're going to be mentioning those. They're called banshee blades, and they form a specific specific function, and it deals with her family. And she comes from a noble house, like a almost royalty. Like her dad was like in the Red Branch Knights. He was like the bodyguard of the king. All right, that type of thing. This is the first drawing I ever did of Cuchulainn. Now, Cuchulainn is like the Irish Hercules, Samson, strong guy. He's the epitome of Irish strength, independence, pluckiness, I guess would be a word. He's like the strongest champion of in Irish mythology, and I patterned him after an Irish wolfhound. Just because Cuchulainn basically means the hound. Cuchulainn is the Hound of Ulster, hence from Fianna McCool and the Hound of Ulster. This is him. He's our other. We've got two protagonists. It's Fianna and Cuchulainn here. And there's another story behind Cuchulainn. I'm not going to reveal it here. You'll have to buy the book to find out. He's a little bit more than what you see here, and you'll see it transpire in the first issue. But I wanted to give him that Irish look. Gave him the tattoos. Even these tattoos, Lily actually took it to another level. I just drew them as tattoos, but Lily really went to town with the. You turned him like into lightning bolts, right? She had lightning coming out. She had lightning coming out of his eyes. I'm like, wow, that's cool. We could make that be like he gets his energy, his strength, his vitality from the very land that he's sworn to protect, and that just added another element, another level to the story. So anyway, that's Cuchulainn. This is Finnegan. This is the first drawing I did of him. And people say, well, what kind of animal is he? I'm like, I don't know. I just made something up. He kind of looks like a bat in the face, but he doesn't have any wings. And so I'm like, think of a leprechaun if he was an animal. That's basically what Finnegan is. And Finnegan was a character in the Finn McCool storyline. He was an old hermit that lived by the river, by the water. He was always fishing for the salmon of knowledge, because anybody that caught this fish would automatically be wise beyond all imagining and would know everything in the whole universe, basically. And that's going to be playing a part in this story as well. But for the first issue that we're doing now, he's our storyteller, and he was fun. He's a lot of Yoda, kind of. Sort of like Yoda, but he's the one that's introducing the story. He's a lot of fun to draw. I like him a lot. So Finnegan the Wise. Okay, now this is Maeve, the Queen in Scarlet, or we're calling her the Red Witch Queen, Maeve, and she was the major antagonist in the stories of Cuchulainn from the mythology. And so we basically did something kind of different with her. She's like a witch queen, and she's got these cauldrons that she brews and makes her legion of armies of monstrous creatures and stuff. But every time she does it, she pays a price. And you see she has this armor over her arms, and well, that's not really just. Well, should I even go that far? Let's just say that she controls magic, and she's evil. She wants to control the entire land. She is the reason why the king and the whole Red Branch Knights who were over the land before and ruled very benevolently went missing. They're no longer there. She's the culprit behind it, and we'll find out what dastardly deeds that she has done with them as the story progresses. But anyway, this is Maeve, and this scar, I gave her a scar across the nose, and it's like that has a direct. She's out to get Cuchulainn, basically, for spurning her and for causing her no end of sorrow. She can't have everything that she wants, but she wants it all. So if she can't have it, nobody's gonna have it. So she's one of those kinds of characters. So anyway, and here's some more drawings I did. This was like the first drawing I did of her.
Second.
Was it the second one? I guess this was the first one. Yeah, I kind of. She's similar. I changed the sword. I got this like crisp blade here that I think I like, and I want to keep her using that. But there's pretty much the same type of thing. I wanted her to have the armor on her arms and everything. So anyway, that's Maeve. This is the Morrigan. And the Morrigan also was from the, she was like a goddess of death, I think. and she was represented as a crow or raven type of creature, and I think she in the mythology when Cuchulainn died, she settled on his settled on his corpse. And not that we're going to have that in our first issue or anything. We like our Cuchulainn, and we're going to keep him around for a while. I'm just talking about the mythology. And so I wanted to do something a little bit different from her. So I knew that she had a connection to being a raven. So I wanted to make her a raven, but I wanted to give her that really scary, look. And then I thought of Ghost Rider, and so I said, I wonder what a raven skull looked like. Well, I just went to Google Images and I pulled up a raven skull and just drew the skull and made it on fire. And then Lily colored it, and you made it all green, didn't you? Whenever you colored. So she's probably the most striking out of our characters. A lot of fun to draw. All of these swirly designs in here, a lot of fun to do as well. And this is our main bad guy for the first issue. She's one of Maeve's minions. And this is Gor Nog, the boar hog, and he is our like I said, main henchman slash villain of the first issue, and he's a lot of fun to draw. And it's weird because the rat creature, well, we haven't even got to the rat creatures yet, but the villains of the piece are the most fun to draw, hands down. And I've heard other artists say that over time, and whenever I was a kid, I didn't understand it. Now I do. There's just so much you can do with them that it seems like you have less parameters that you're working in. It's like the more exaggeration that you make them, the better they look and the more evil they are, and so they come across, you can get a lot of life out of them, whereas in your shall we say, goody two-shoes good guys, you're a little bit more limited with what you can do with expression and the lines and stuff. But with villains, you can really go to town. So anyway, he's a lot of fun to draw. Here's another bad guy that actually I don't even think he's going to be. He may be in the first issue. I haven't figured it out where we'll put him yet, but I may even do a pin-up of him. But this is one of the Red Branch Knights after he's been corrupted and turned into one of Queen Maeve's generals, and so he was a lot of fun to draw. He kind of looks like something out of the old Hanna-Barbera cartoon, the Herculoids, which I loved as a kid. So you're going to see a lot of that type of aesthetic play out in this story. All right, this was the first actual drawing that I did of Cuchulainn and Fianna McCool together. See, I didn't say Sally that time. And then I got the Morrigan here. But back then, I guess I didn't have it in my head that we were going to just use all animals, that every character in this world would be an animal analog or whatever. And so I got all of these goblin guys down here, and they're cool, and we might even use them somewhere down the road later, but they're more, I guess, human-like, or based on more human type attributes than animals, so we'll probably use those later. Thought that I would do a comparison here. This was the original drawing that I did in a notebook. I get these little composition books, and I just draw in them. In fact, I'll show you a lot more here in just a second of characters that I've drawn in here. But this is, I come up with the idea, and whatever I have handy with me at the time I draw, I do a sketch in it, and I happen to have these pretty much wherever I go. And so I drew this one morning, and then came back and kind of transferred that to this. And Lily, did you ink this? You inked this digitally, yes, right? Yeah, you inked this digitally, and you colored it. And we actually have prints of this that we sell at conventions and use it and did we make our banner out of this similar? Well, I mean, you took some of the elements out of it, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the raw version of the first like poster drawing, whatever, that we did to start with. All right, now we're moving into the meat of the story here. These are thumbnails of the first issue. It's the entire first issue, and I remember doing all of this in a day, literally a day. I remember it was a Sunday, and I couldn't stop. I was riveted to the. I broke them down into 16 pages per sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper to tell the story. And you can see on the outside, I would write down my thoughts, what these characters would be saying. I want this thing to be organic. I don't want it to be. I want the visuals to drive the narrative. I don't want the narrative to overwhelm the visuals. I want them to work together. And whenever the characters are talking, I want them to talk like they're not. It's not Shakespeare or anything. They're not doing a soliloquy or whatever. They're talking with each other just like normal people would, or normal animals, I guess, would in this world. So anyway, this is the thumbnails, this is where the storytelling really happens for me. You're breaking each page down into the panels, into frames. Sometimes they would change, but most of the time I've stuck pretty much with what I've done here. This is pretty much what you're going to see in the finished product, and this is it. This is the entire first issue. I hope you're getting this from. And so I've got 26 pages of.
Doing the map right there.
Yeah, and the map that I drew here, and then the next issue cover that we'll put into the first issue is here as well. So anyway, this is kind of, hopefully this is small enough that it won't be too many spoilers for you. But this is the entirety of the first issue. A few more. This is one of the main bad guys in a flashback that we did that talked about Fianna McCool's parents and when she was a child, and that's at the very beginning of the issue. Man, I hated this. Well, I'm not even going to go there. Let's just say I was drawing him for a couple of pages, and then I wasn't drawing him anymore. I'm like, I'm going to miss that guy. He was again another one of those bad guys that are more fun to draw than the good guys. And then this is just me working out some of the panels and some of the dialogue that the characters are saying. But anyway, this is the real deal. This is where the comic really happens, is in the thumbnail stage and in the raw idea stage. And this is what's the most exciting for me. Oh, here was one of the goblins that we were going to use before we decided to turn them into rat creatures or the vermin army or whatever. And I think I was going to have 3 of these guys, and they were like the Three Stooges for the whatever we called them, the Goblin Army at the time, and I was going to call them Oog, Boog, and Poog, and we might use them later on because I kind of like their look. I was kind of going the whole deal with, especially these guys, is back to the old Rankin Bass Hobbit and Return of the King animated specials that came on years and years ago. So anyway, that's stylistically, visually, that's pretty much what I was going for. Another one. This was the first drawing that I did of the Galbraith. This is that eagle guy that I drew earlier on. I'm gonna take this book here now. I told you I would show you some more of this stuff that was in here. Here's Herna and Kumal. These are the first drawings I did of them. Fianna's mom and dad from the first issue. Some of the rat creatures, drawing out how they would move and stuff. They're kind of I wanted them to be scary and comical at the same time. You know what? I just remembered I didn't draw a tail on the guy that I just inked a little while ago, so I'm gonna have to go back and change that. This is Guznak. He is our one of our main rat creature minion villain characters who will be recurring. Let's see. I draw all kind of stuff in here and write notes. Here's some more rat creatures that I drew. That one's actually looks more like a cat than a rat. And See, I even got Silver Surfer in there. Here we go. This is Setanta. He is going to appear in the first issue, and you guys that know Celtic mythology will no doubt know the name Setanta and know how Setanta is related to Cuchulainn. But I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to get the book yourself. But he's one of my favorite characters to draw. He's our little wisecracking characters that really drive the narrative. This is Kumal, who is Fianna's father, and these things are called rune rocks. They're what she uses for her in her slingshot, and there they are, Fianna and Cuchulainn together. But anyway, that's about it for this for this book. I want to show you some of the actual pages. This is a panel that we did of Finnegan, the character I told you about before. He's fishing for that salmon of knowledge that he never seems to be able to catch, but he never gives up. He's always fishing for him. This is the cover for our first issue that this whole Kickstarter campaign is about. And so I was able to put most of the characters that are appearing in the first issue on here. And these are the actual pages from inside the book. Let's see, I think I got them in the wrong order. I think I got them right now. Like this is the first page, and it leads into Finnegan. In fact, I think we swapped this last panel here for this one, which is a more close-up where you can actually see the character on the first page. We thought that was important. And then it goes into him talking. This is like the first time you see Fianna and Cuchulainn, and these are all in pencils. Lily's in fact, you've already inked these, haven't you? You've inked it. These are completely done, colored, penciled, inked, colored, and lettered. They're only penciled on the board. Then they're inked and colored digitally, and lettered digitally. In fact, the lettering on this, Lily made a font out of my own handwriting, so it looks right, because we did several different ones because different fonts are going to be used for different characters speaking, and we wanted it to look like it was hand done, but we did it digitally just to make it easier to work with. This is the king and his Red Branch Knights. This is a flashback where our narrator Finnegan is telling us about the life before the evil times of Queen Maeve, and then we go into the flashback of Kumal and Herna, who are Fianna, who's right here, her parents, and you can see that these pages are inked, and I inked these myself just to
flashback.
Yeah, just for the flashback scene, just to help Lily out, so we could all get ahead. And I tell you what, whenever it was everything I could do to keep up with her. I started doing these pages, and she just started. Okay, I'm ready for another one. She would finish them. She would finish coloring faster than I could finish drawing them. You see over here on the side, guess what, guys? This is my script. This is how I write the story, and the script is. I looked at my thumbnail to draw this page, and then I said, what would these characters be saying? So I drew it, and then I figured out what they were going to be saying. I knew where the story was going. I just didn't know exactly what the characters would be saying until I drew it, and then I wrote it on the side of the page, and I did it for every page you see here. Here's that rat creature. I forget what his name is. Captain Bolga Gol is his name. I like to make up these crazy sounding names that are especially for the villains, because you can go crazy with it. You can see he's got the same blades that Fianna has in the comic later. These were a lot of fun to draw. A lot of texture going on in these pages. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time because I want you to read it. But we got the drawings over here, and then the script over here, and then Lily would take this. Lily would take this, and then she would put the word balloons on there. First, you would letter it first, right? Mm-hmm. Or
I would do it all at the same time.
Okay, and then this is more of the pages that pages that I inked in the flashback. And this was it. This ends the flashback part. Then we go back, another shot of Finnegan fishing, and then he's talking about the dark times, and I thought that it would be cool to show a lot of that in silhouette. And now we're in what should I call it? Present times. I wouldn't say modern times. It would be present day in the storyline. And so I get to draw all of these different types of animals, because every character in this storyline is an animal of some sort. And then there's our Gor Nog, the boar hog, and he's cracking the whip over these guys. He's a slave trafficker type of character, and he's over the army of the vermin army of. He's one of Maeve's generals. And so anyway, this is it. This is where we are. And so guys, I just wanted to share this with you so you could see some of the background work and see all of the inspiration that we get, and hopefully what we've shown you here will inspire you. Let me see what we've got here, Lil. I just did some drawings. We're decided that we're going to this is for tier 10, the champion tier, and what these are is they're insert page sketches where you can they're the same size as the comic book page, and they'll be inserted into the comic itself, and it's just one of the tiers that we have. I did one of Fianna, I did one of Cucullin, and I did one of the rat creature, but like I said, I forgot to add his tail, so I'll remind myself to add a tail. So these will actually be some of the rewards that you'll get, and I just finished them just a little while ago. Actually, I'm going to be putting out another video, and it's when I was inking these. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be posting that as well, so you can see that. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to share that with you. I have one more thing I wanted to talk about. We have decided to add some extra tiers for this campaign, and these tiers are retailer tiers.
Yes.
We'll
be posting an update about that.
Right. We've had several friends of ours who run comic book stores who said, "Hey, what about adding a retailer incentive type thing?" And I have one good friend who gave me a call, and he gave me all kind of ideas. So much that I'm like, whoa, stop! I got to write this down. So we're going to be adding those soon. But I want to take this time right now to say thank you to all the ones who have pledged to the Kickstarter, all the ones who have pledged and shared. Please keep doing so. Tell everybody that you know about our Kickstarter. We're again really excited about it. We're more than halfway there, and that's awesome. And I think we've got 19 days to go, 20, something like that. So we're well on our way, but we still need your help. To get us there. We got 18 days to go, and we are at $2,680 as of this recording, out of a projected 5,000. We can do it, guys, but we need your help to get it done. So if you like what you see here, and if you like all the work that we put in, if you like my work, if you like Lily's work, this is what we're wanting to do, and we can't do it without you. But if you can help us out, we'll see this thing through to the end. Thanks so much for watching this update, and we'll be adding more very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.